Welcome to Exam Sale. In this video we will walk through the syllabus for the Amazon AWS Certified Advanced Networking Specialty ANS-C01 exam. This short guide makes the scope and priorities clear so you can plan study time efficiently. Overview of the exam structure and weights. Domain 1 network design is 30%. Domain 2 network implementation is 26%. Domain 4 network security, compliance, and governance is 24%, and Domain 3 network management and operation is 20%. The estimated learning time across domains is 45, 35, 40, and 30 hours respectively, for a combined recommended study of 150 hours. Expect scenario-based and hands-on questions with a strong emphasis on design, implementation, security, and operational troubleshooting. Domain 1, network design is 30% of the exam, has a hard difficulty, an estimated learning time hours of 45, and is assessed with scenario-based items. You will learn to architect scalable and resilient AWS network infrastructures including multi-account and multi-VPC designs using AWS organizations and VPC design patterns. Study VPC peering strategies and limitations, shared services VPCs, IPv4 and IPv6 addressing and CIDR planning, and high availability across multiple availability zones. You will also design hybrid connectivity using Direct Connect and Transit Gateway integrations. Site-to-site VPN as primary or backup. Choose M8sec or ISEC where appropriate. Plan BGP routing policies and community tagging. And evaluate VPC endpoint strategies with AWS Private Link and subnet sharing with AWS Resource Access Manager. Finally, learn DNS and edge services such as Route 53 Resolver and private hosted zones in multi-account setups. Route 53 routing policies for global traffic. CloudFront distributions for content optimization, and integration with AWS Global Accelerator and Route 53 profiles for consistent resource resolution. Domain 2, network implementation is 26%, has a medium difficulty, an estimated learning time hours of 35, and is assessed with hands-on and conceptual tasks. This domain covers configuration and deployment of AWS networking services and automation of network infrastructure. You will configure AWS Transit Gateway for multi-VPC routing, implement Transit Gateway route tables and propagation, and establish site-to-site VPNs including accelerated VPNs and BGP sessions for Direct Connect and VPN. Expect to deploy Client VPN for remote access, implement VPC peering across regions and accounts, and work with application load balancers for Layer 7 routing as well as network load balancers for high-performance Layer 4 traffic. You will also implement gateway load balancers for third-party appliance insertion, configure target groups, health checks, listener rules, cross-zone load balancing, session persistence, and TLS termination with certificate integration on elastic load balancing. Domain 4, network security, compliance, and governance is 24%, has a hard difficulty, an estimated learning time hours of 40, and is assessed with conceptual and scenario-based questions. This domain focuses on securing AWS networks using native services and implementing governance controls. You will deploy AWS Network Firewall for granular traffic filtering, configure AWS WAF for web protection, and implement AWS Shield Advanced for DDoS mitigation while managing security groups and network ACLs for micro-segmentation. Learn to design inspection architectures using Gateway Load Balancer and to centralize security with AWS Firewall Manager. You will also implement TLS and SSL using AWS Certificate Manager, and force encryption in transit for hybrid and inter-VPC traffic. Configure VPC flow logs for auditing. Evaluate architectures against the AWS well-architected framework. Manage permissions using IAM and service control policies, and utilize AWS config for network configuration governance. Domain 3, network management and operation is 20%, has a medium difficulty, an estimated learning time hours of 30, and is assessed with scenario-based questions. This domain emphasizes monitoring, troubleshooting, and optimizing AWS network performance and operational health. You will analyze traffic with VPC flow logs and CloudWatch, implement AWS Network Manager for global visibility, use traffic mirroring for deep packet inspection, and monitor Direct Connect metrics, VPN tunnel status, and Route 53 health checks. Expect to configure CloudWatch alarms for network performance thresholds. Use VPC Reachability Analyzer and Network Access Analyzer to resolve connectivity and routing issues. Troubleshoot BGP path selection and routing conflicts. Identify performance bottlenecks. Optimize network costs for data transfer and egress. Debug hybrid DNS resolution failures, and perform MTU and MSS adjustments for hybrid links. To conclude, follow the domain weights closely and focus study time on the scenario-based design and hands-on implementation skills that the exam tests. Allocate roughly 150 hours across the domains. Prioritize practical labs for transit gateway, direct connect, load balancing, and security services, and practice troubleshooting with flow logs and reachability tools. Good luck with your preparation and stay focused on architecture, implementation, security, and operational scenarios.